Welcome back to Winners and Losers, the show that looks at the highs and the lows around world football this weekend. I'm a very happy boy. Exeter Chiefs win, England win, Man United win, Arsenal currently losing on the TV behind me 2-1. We're not going to be talking about that. Don't worry, Arsenal fans. But joining me as ever, Christopher Hamill. Hamster, how was your weekend, mate?
Yeah, shocking. Let's move on. Celtic losing to Ross County after getting spanked 4-1 again by Stag Do FC. I've had enough at this point, all right? Starting to get cabin fever. We're going to rip through the talking point this week, aren't we, Joseph?
Yeah.
Because we had Chelsea versus Tottenham earmarked to talk about in the opening exchanges of this show, and it proved to be a little bit of a dour affair. Interesting, tactically speaking. Not a bad point for Jose away from home, although does home advantage count? Now the crowds aren't there, although they might be next week, particularly if you're down south. So let's talk about it very, very briefly, because Tottenham now move to the top of the table, don't they? Level with Liverpool and 2 points ahead of Chelsea and Leicester. If we're looking for some positives from a Chelsea perspective, it was another clean sheet for Edouard Mendy, meaning he now has 5 in 6 Premier League games, meaning he's kept more clean sheets than any other goalkeeper this season. And if you want to look at that a little bit more in depth, we've done a tactical breakdown on Football Daily of how Frank Lampard has fixed the Chelsea defence. Of course, conceded the most goals in the top half last term, and 2 or 3 new additions have really made a big impact this season, haven't they? So if you're interested in that, go and check it out after this show. But on the day, Chelsea's rearguard action, let's say, didn't give Kane or Son a sniff. Of course, they are the informed duo, aren't they? But just one shot between them in 90 minutes. And after the game, Frank Lampard delighted that he, nipped that in the bud.
Kind of went as I sort of expected. I expected us to have a lot of the game and a lot of possession. We did. I thought it would be hard to create chances. I think we created enough to win the game. So we had good control. The clean sheet factor against the team, which we've seen recently, are set up to counter-attack and have amazing players to counter-attack. I thought that part of our game was excellent. To deal with their threat of Harry Kane and Son particularly, didn't really give them a sniff, didn't quite take our chances.
Moving on to Tottenham very quickly then, because like Hamill said, this game was absolutely appalling. But yeah, Jose Mourinho, I'd say, probably just about the happier of the two managers. It was a little bit of a park the bus performance, but you just can't moan about it. They've conceded no goals in their last 2 games against City and Chelsea and taken 4 points. And Spurs' defensive record continues to be superb this season. 9 goals conceded in 10 games. And it doesn't seem to matter who they put in there either. Jose's getting the best out of that backline today. It was Joe Rodon making his first Premier League start since that move from Swansea. I thought he was excellent on the night, marshalling Tammy Abraham, who potentially should have come off a little bit earlier. But 58 touches, 40 out of 48 passes completed, 4 clearances, 2 interceptions, 1 block. No wonder Jose Mourinho was absolutely delighted with his performance after the game.
No, it's difficult. It's difficult, but he showed good personality. I want to analyze the game step by step with him, but from my fast analyze during the non-stop 90 minutes, I got one mistake that ended with an offside goal, and another one with a back header to Hugo that found Giroud in a middle position. But after that, he was solid, he was brave, he was comfortable, and that for me is an important thing. You compare the 2 teams, and you look to the 2 centre backs, and you say Thiago Silva, coming from an incredible, amazing career at the highest level, and Joe Rodon, coming from Swansea in the Championship. I have to be happy with the kid.
The talking point was dry, I admit to that, but the rest of the content in this show isn't going to be, and you should hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on right now if you are new to the channel. Never want you missing a video, because up next, we'll talk about our winners. Manchester United, the rise up the table continues. Thank you, David Barton, for suggesting this one. Come on, hamster.
Yeah, sorry to everyone else. I did try and avoid this, but just inescapable putting Cavani in our winners section, wasn't it? After that 3-2 victory against Southampton, meaning that Manchester United moved 5 points off the top of the table with a game in hand. How is that possible? Not quite sure. Actually, I'm quite sure it's down to their incredible away form, isn't it? They have now won 8 consecutive away games in the league for the first time ever. So, for all their shortcomings, let's just say that this Manchester United side have some spirit, at least on the road, don't they? In all of their last 4 away victories, they've come from behind to claim all 3 points. Now, Southampton, of course, took the lead. Everyone was delighted, apart from Joe, in the group chat. JWP, instrumental in both goals. Firstly, a lovely corner, and then an even better free kick. He is the best set-piece taker in the Premier League, isn't he? And that was his 9th direct free kick, going level with Nobby Solano, Jamie Redknapp and Frank Lampard. Great company to be keeping, standing over a set piece. And since his first Premier League campaign in 2012-13, he's actually scored more than any other player from that situation. So developing quite the reputation, isn't he? But other than those set pieces, Southampton, strangely enough, actually struggled to create clear-cut chances from open play. Hence an XG of 0.5 to 2.6 in Manchester United's favour. But despite that, Ralphie is always positive, isn't he? Magnanimous in defeat as well. Still thought that they deserved a little something from the game.
Not so frustrating, to be honest, because I've seen a team that does what the best they can do. I think the subs made a difference today, especially Cavani was hard to defend. And if you then have no pressure on the ball anymore, and sitting deep is difficult against this team because they have so good deep runs and everything, and then it's difficult to defend. So in the end, it wasn't enough for 1 point. I think, I don't know if we would deserve one. I think for the first half, yes, because we have been the much better team. I think they have quality, and this quality is clear that it is not 90 minutes to defend all the time. So a little bit unlucky today, but okay, I think we must. I don't want to see a head down today because I have seen a team that was amazing.
Moving on to United then, because I have to say, despite a horrible first 45 minutes where we were all over the place, we still created some very, very good chances. Mason Greenwood missed an open goal. Bruno missed an open goal. Rashford, some of his decision-making on the day left a lot to be desired. But we can't talk about Manchester United without talking about Bruno Fernandes right now. We had the big debate on Sunday Vibes yesterday about Bruno and where he ranks in Premier League or world midfielders, because he is right up there. Another goal, another assist in this game, and he became the first United player to score in 5 consecutive games away from home after Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie and Zlatan, keeping some very good company up there. I also want to give a nod to Donny van de Beek, though. Starting his first Premier League game for Manchester United, I thought he was superb in the midfield. Never gives the ball away, does he? Also put up 4 tackles, 2 key passes, 2 dribbles, 10 ball recoveries. But we can't talk about this game without talking about the super sub. Edinson Cavani on at 45 minutes for Mason Greenwood. Immediately adds a different dimension to this Manchester United attack. A real focal point through the middle. And I love his work rate. It's something I didn't appreciate before he came to Manchester United. 3 tackles in 45 minutes. That's the sort of thing I love to see. But in the box is where he makes his money. A great assist for the Bruno goal. Some lovely movement for the equaliser as well. A bit of anticipation that sometimes I think that Martial and Rashford lack a little bit. And then for the winner, it's just a superb header. The angle to get it at the front post, the timing of the run, everything about it is exquisite. Absolutely delighted for him to finally get involved in the goals in a big way. He's already Manchester United's second top scorer in the league with 3 goals. Not a huge number, obviously behind Bruno Fernandes. I just loved the spirit of that comeback from Manchester United, though, because the first 45 was all over the place. And after the game, Ollie admitted that the change for Cavani on at half-time was the key.
Of course, it's great to get 3 points in the way we did it, as in last minute. It's a comeback. It's a tradition of this club. It's something that this team is getting better and better at as well.
When you sign someone like Edinson Cavani, is that what you expect to see?
Yeah, he's a centre forward who thrives on crosses and delivery in the box, and he's been in there for so many years, so he knows where the ball can land. So he's made a difference tonight, or to this morning.
How much will you look back at the earlier part of this game and the goals that were conceded in the manner that they were and really scrutinise those moments?
I won't, because first of all, I thought we were excellent all day long. I thought we played some fantastic football, created chances, must have had 5 or 6 clear-cut opportunities. And they have Ward-Prowse. You can't stop him. It's just one of them. You hope that you don't give set plays away, because he's got that quality, and it's one of them you can't blame anyone.
Moving on to our losers then, and it's Burnley that are firmly in the mud. Big thanks to Cam for sending this in. But it was Riyad Mahrez that did all the damage, wasn't it, at the Etihad against Sean Dyche's men as City romped to a 5-0 victory. And Manchester City have been a little bit unfortunate on the attacking end this season, haven't they? At least at the start of the season. Their underlying numbers show they deserve more goals, and these goals came against Burnley. Manchester City, prior to this game, had actually only scored 10 in their opening 8. So very uncharacteristic from them. But it was very characteristic to slap Burnley about. They do it all the bloody time. And I've got to say, I think it's the 4th time in a row they've now beaten the Clarets 5-0 at home. But over the last 6 matches, I've got down here, it's 28-1 on aggregate. Rugby scores. That's the second mention rugby's got on this show. Absolutely inexplicable, but not as inexplicable as their performance against Guardiola's men. And Riyad Mahrez, like we said, just absolutely mesmerising. He scored a hat-trick. He's now got 7 in his last 4 against Burnley, so he loves playing against their right back too, or their left back on the right hand side, doesn't he? Cutting in, they just can't seem to stop him. There was one point where Ben Mee was in a different postcode. He tried to tackle him on the byline, but still, yeah, it was good to see KDB back at his best as well. So get this, since his Premier League debut, he's provided 71 assists in the competition. So that's 8 more than any other player, despite only making 3 appearances in his first 2 campaigns. He is just an attacking maelstrom this season. And of course, that was Riyad Mahrez' first hat-trick since December 2015 against Swansea. So he's been waiting a little while for that. And Pep Guardiola, safe to say, happy not just with his forward men, but with the whole team.
We can win it with a bigger margin is good, but I'm not expecting every game go out there and score a lot of goals. So the important is create the chances, the same that we create against Olympiacos. And the chances that we have, and we had in every game we had a lot, and today we were good that we convert.
All right, let's chat about Burnley then. Sorry, Sean, but it was another horrible day for the Clarets. Slipped firmly into the relegation zone because not only did they get battered by City, but then of course West Bromwich Albion went on to beat Sheffield United in the late game. So they are now in the bottom 3, and quite simply this season they haven't been good enough. Whoa. 1 win in 9 games. They've lost 6 matches already, and we're only at game week 10. And they have just been on a god-awful run for some time now. They've lost 7 of the last 10 Premier League games. Previous to that, they lost just 1 of 15. So something's happened around that sort of summer period, whether or not it's Sean didn't get the targets he wanted or a little bit of momentum's gone out of the dressing room, but something's gone wrong because this is really, really worrying now. Only in 1888-89 season, that's the 1800s, by the way, have Burnley lost more of their opening 9 matches of a top-flight season. This is seriously starting to worry me. I thought Burnley would be in another season where they just plod along, finish upwards of 16th, but at the moment, they just cannot buy a goal, and it's starting to cost them. They've scored 4 in the league. 4 goals in the league. They've conceded 17 as well in that time. They've got the worst goal difference in the league. I would be seriously worried now if I was a Burnley fan. And it's no wonder that Sean Dyche, after the game, was feeling a bit of deja vu.
It's the rare ground in the Premier League where this has occurred before on unfortunately, a consistent basis, and very similar mapped out, or certainly the last couple where we made mistakes early in the game. They've capitalised on them, which these do, and they end up running away with it. And so that's certainly something which is an odd thing. A lot made of it before the game, so it's one of them. And is there like that positive advertising about something that ends up being the result?
All right, so that's it for another episode of Winners and Losers. I know a few people would have been wanting us to mention the Liverpool VAR. We've talked that to death. You can talk about it in the comments below if you really want to, but we haven't got too much to add. But Hamster, what do we have to add? What else can people watch?
Well, we've put out a couple of great episodes of Explained in recent weeks, so go and check out our one on Scottish football over on Euro Football Daily. If you're interested in how Ralph Hasenhüttl's revived Southampton, then go and dig out that from a couple of weeks ago on Football Daily. And yeah, just stick around for more of that show.
Yeah, stick around. I feel like I'm very sweaty. Anyway, yeah, moving on. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.
What a note to end on. Bye.